This video has been brought to you by A Winner Is You, the funniest video game quotes with snarky commentary. Buy the book now at the link below. Welcome to Awesome Video Game Memories, where we talk about awesome memories about video games. I'm Ryan, and the game we're going to talk about today is Mutant Year Zero, Road to Eden. So Mutant Year Zero, Road to Eden is based on the popular pen and paper RPG from Sweden called Mutant. And just for transparency, I received a review key from this game from the developers Funcom and Three Bearded Ladies via Terminals.io, so I would like to thank them for this opportunity. So Mutant Year Zero, Road to Eden takes place in a post-apocalyptic Earth, and you control two mutants, Borman, a pig, and Ducks, a duck. So this is kind of like a post-apocalyptic version of DuckTales. I wonder what that would sound like. Wiped out in a hurricane, here in the unknown. Shotguns, lasers, and grenades. It's a war zone. There's so much mysteries of mutant history. Mutant Year Zero. Every day they're searching in Mutant Year Zero. Tales of stalkers and ghouls in Eden. Danger all around you. There's a stalker out to find you. What to do? Just play some game called Mutant Year Zero. Every day they're searching in Mutant Year Zero. Tales of stalkers and ghouls in Eden. Woo-hoo. All mutant tales and ghoul fight tales in Mutant Year Zero. Yeah. So Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden is a strategy game like XCOM and Mario plus Rabbids, but a bit different actually. So in Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden, you actually get to control your characters on an overworld map, and then you can find hidden treasure like weapons, armor, power-ups, and scraps for gold. And then you can actually see enemies on the map and engage them in combat like in XCOM. And this is where it actually gets a lot different than XCOM. So this game is hard. Very, very hard. Even if you put it on the easiest difficulty, this game is very, very hard because you just cannot rush into battle against all the enemies and expect to win. Like, the game actually encourages you to have, stealth mechanics. So you kind of control your characters on the world map, and you can try to actually stealth ambush one enemy before all the other enemies find out. And the game definitely encourages you to use silent weapons like, special dart guns, silenced guns, and, bows and arrows. And then when you get into the meat of the combat, you can start using louder weapons like shotguns, machine guns, and all types of other guns. And as you travel the post-apocalyptic world of Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden, you actually get to go to the Ark, which is kind of your main base, and you work as stalkers for the Elder. So stalkers are agents of the Ark going around the world, aka known as the Zone, trying to look for scraps and other materials in order to survive. And in the Ark, you get to talk to the Elder for some advice, and then you get to upgrade your weapons, buy more weapons, and you can also buy some more armor too. So the first main part of the game is you have to find a scientist called Hammond who got kidnapped by the evil Nova sect and their army of ghouls. So you control Borman and Ducks, two stalkers who are mutants who kind of hate each other, but eventually they start getting along. And then after that, you're joined by Selma, kind of a humanoid mutant, and then you're joined by Magnus, another mutant, and then your final ally is Pharaoh, a fox mutant. Blimey! So this unorthodox pair of mutants has to find the scientist named Hammond and bring him back to the Ark. And throughout the game, you get to actually power up your mutants. You can add more mutations, like you can have, Ducks be able to fly all over the place. You can actually have Borman have like a tackle, which definitely helps you defeat a lot of the tougher enemies, like, the freaking med robots and, the priests who are part of the Nova sect. Behold! The Nova sect shall rule the zone! Oh, yes! Also, eventually you have to fight giant-ass robots, kind of like in XCOM, and you gotta be very, very careful around them. And I definitely recommend using EMP grenades against these gigantic-ass robots. And one thing about the combat in this game is you can never have more than 3 characters in your party at a time, and I know that is definitely far less than the 5 or 6 characters you can have in XCOM, but once you get used to the mechanics of the game, like, you know, trying to stealth enemies rather than trying to take them all out at once, which pretty much ensures your death, it definitely gets a lot easier, and it adds so much more fun and charm to the game. You know, there's sometimes you kind of see this sect Pyro, but he's not surrounded by all his buddies, so you can kind of sneak up on him, use silent weapons, and nobody's ever gonna know that you took him down, even though you can actually take down enemies who are right next to each other, but they won't hear you. So once you find Hammond, you bring him back to the Ark, and Hammond says you have to go to the Forbidden City. But for some reason, the Elder does not want you to go to the Forbidden City and find Eden, because Eden may contain some origin to why Dux, Borman, and Pharaoh are mutants. Oh boy, I wonder what the mystery is, man. So eventually you make your way through the Forbidden City, you take down more members of the Nova Sect, and then their evil leader, who's very, very difficult in this very, very difficult last battle, where you have to fight a whole bunch of Nova Sect enemies, and then a med bot, and then a giant robot, and then you have to fight the final boss, who I barely beat, because, you know, this game is definitely very difficult. I actually had to go back and raise some scraps to get more EMP grenades, so I can kind of disable, you know, the giant robot and the med bot at the end, and then after that, the gates of Eden open, and then you see a playground area? Whoa, okay. And then you find out the origin of the mutants. So before the apocalypse, scientists were kind of splicing human and animal DNA, and then you find out that the Elder was one of the head scientists in Eden. Mind twist, blow, man! So Dux, Borman, Pharaoh, Selma, and Magnus find out their origins as mutants, and then you find out that the base at Eden was actually located in Sweden all along! Whoa! Well, Sweden is, you know, the origin country of the entire Mutant franchise. And thus ends Mutant Year Zero: Road to Eden. So what did I think of this game? Well, first of all, the game looked very, very interesting, considering that you get to play as a mutant pig and a mutant duck. You know, like I said before, a mutant post-apocalyptic version of DuckTales. Woo woo! And being a huge fan of Mario vs. Rabbids and the XCOM franchise, yeah, I definitely was very, very interested in this game, and I'm glad the developers gave me a chance to play it. And like I said before, the game is definitely very, very difficult, but once you get the hang of the mechanics, especially the stealth mechanics and trying to pick off enemies one by one, the game gets very, very fun and very, very addictive, and I could not put it down, and it should probably take you around 10 to 15 hours to finish completely. And even though I'm not a pen and paper RPG guy, I'm definitely very, very interested in more of the Mutant franchise, and I would definitely love to dig into, you know, comic books, you know, a web series, a TV show. You know, if they make more Mutant material, yeah, I'm definitely very interested in seeing it. So I definitely highly recommend Mutant Year Zero: Road to Eden as a good introduction to the Mutant franchise. And the good thing is it's not very expensive, and you can get it for the PC, Xbox One, or the PS4. And that ends this episode of awesome video game memories about Mutant Year Zero: Road to Eden, because every day they're out there searching for Mutant Year Zero. Da, da, na, na, na. Watch awesome video game memories on Amazon Prime for exclusive episodes and extra content. Link down below in the description. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, especially subscribe, and make sure to click on that notification bell so you know when we release new videos, because YouTube won't tell you. And if you want to see me stream games, you can follow me on twitch.tv/BattleGeekPlus or mixer.com/BattleGeekPlus. And if you have a Twitch Prime subscription, you can subscribe to BattleGeek Plus on Twitch for awesome perks like emotes and subscriber badges. Also, make sure to support BattleGeek Plus at Patreon at patreon.com/Ryan Molina, because every dollar helps me bring you a better show. And make sure to follow me on Twitter at @RyanMolina and at BattleGeek Plus. And make sure to check out the BattleGeek Plus website for BattleGeek Plus merchandise, books, and a lot more.